Hello everyone, it's me again, Steedoj here, back to more Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3, and this time we'll actually be talking about the leaked Super Saiyan 3 transformation animation that some players actually got to see early at Summer Games Fest 2026. Now, this information comes to us mostly from Indeku, but other players apparently saw it as well. During the character customization section, if you had picked the Saiyan instead of the female Earthling, which is what all the gameplay showcases show, because again, it's B-roll footage obviously, the Saiyan gameplay we'll see at a later date, but if you actually picked the Saiyan, not only would he obviously predictably have Super Saiyan 1, but it must have went all the way up to Super Saiyan 3, because there's apparently a unique transformation animation for Super Saiyan 3. Now, I think the most ridiculous thing about all of this is the fact that Super Saiyan 3 is being shown this early. Like, I'm not saying we're seeing gameplay of it like this early or anything, but the fact that Super Saiyan 3 is this early on into the build is obviously very good. It's very great and useful transformations, in fact, because one thing I do want to point out is that with Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, Super Saiyan 3 wasn't even in the beta. We already knew we could go Super Saiyan 3 in that game before it came out because they showed it in the trailers, but they never actually put it in the beta. The betas for Xenoverse 2 didn't feature Super Saiyan 3 at all for custom characters. Obviously, it was in the full game, but it wasn't in the beta. So if we're getting Super Saiyan 3 in like the pre-release, early review, like access stuff, it's safe to say every form from Xenoverse 2 is going to make a return, because again, Super Saiyan 3 is one of the biggest forms ever. It's one of the hardest to animate, it's one of the hardest to model, it's one of the hardest to get the details down for, since it also changes the way your character's face looks by removing the eyebrows and giving them like a new sterner look. It also has a unique aura effect, which might even make a return in Xenoverse 3 of the rocks floating up all around you. And what I'm trying to say is that Super Saiyan 3 is way harder to do than Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan Blue. So the fact that we're seeing it this early, or the fact that there's even a unique animation for it this early, is kind of great evidence to the way the other Awoken skills are going to look in this game. Now, again, I'm not going to say that they're going to do everything exact, but a good example is if Super Saiyan 3 is going to look like this, where it's got the big hair explosion coming out the back, and you see the hair progressively glow, because we know the Super Saiyan animations, or at least every transformation animation in Xenoverse 3, is way longer, and maybe this time your break gauge will have like a damage reduction thing, so you can transform safely, because all these transformations look really long. The Super Saiyan 1 they showed in the trailer looked really long. The Soul Switch in the gameplay showcase also looked really long, and if Super Saiyan 3 is anything like the way it normally looks in the anime or in any animated depiction of it, then it is going to take quite a while for that transformation to finish itself. But that does fill me with hope. It does make me think that this game is going to have even more hype and aura moments than the last games. But yeah, no, Super Saiyan 3's got animations like this, and it makes me really hopeful for Super Saiyan 2. I don't know if they'll reference the red streak going behind your head like they do with Gohan's Super Saiyan 2. They might save that red streak for Beast, and instead they'll reference like SSJ2 Goku's kind of Super Saiyan 2 against Majin Vegeta. That's probably what I think they're going to do with Super Saiyan 2, and then I think they'll obviously save the red streak for the Beast reference, because that's just kind of like way stronger, you know what I mean? Like, Beast is the newest form. That's probably going to make more sense. Actually nuts though, we also have DBS Hype here saying apparently there's more footage that creators saw, such as CAC Super Saiyan 3 transformations, but I suppose we'll see this publicly later. I do believe we'll probably see this again in either a gameplay showcase or a gameplay trailer whenever they feel like releasing another one. Again, news for this game is going to be monthly basically, but we also have people going to the early demo places. You guys might remember there is a road tour for Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 right now where it's going to be happening basically all across the country, and if you go to these places you can play the game earlier, and obviously the later the location, like the later the dates, the more stuff there will be in the game. So a good example is people who are going to go to the most recent one that's going to be happening, which I think is DreamCon. That's going to be the closest one to where we are now. They're going to see Super Saiyan 3, because apparently Super Saiyan 3, the only thing behind it was if the gameplay showcase was with John 1000 instead of Jane 1000, that's what I'm calling them, because that's actually what Bandit Namco called them too. If the gameplay showcase was of John 1000, he went all the way up to Super Saiyan 3, but Jane, I think, got stuck with just the Trunks transfer. Now, something I think that might also be interesting or unique to reference or point out Super Saiyan 3 is that this is my personal theory, but because obviously the Super Saiyan in this game is going to be probably the same as it was in Xenoverse 1 and 2, where there's a Super Saiyan and there's a Super Vegeta, I have a feeling there'll be a unique transformation animation that references Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, because you guys have to remember that's real now, unless if you want to call it Ultra Vegeta 1. But SSJ Free Vegeta should be a thing now as well for CACs. Maybe they'll call it Super Vegeta Free, because, you know, in Xenoverse 2 it's called Super Saiyan 1, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3, and then we also have Super Vegeta 1 and Super Vegeta 2, but we didn't have a Super Vegeta Free because he never had an SSJ Free. Now he does, so I'm curious if we'll actually be able to get the other, like, form of Super Saiyan Free. That would be great for customization, having multiple different looking Super Saiyan Frees on a parallel quest. Not everyone just gets the big, long, flowing cape-like hair. Some people would get the pointed, like, spiky, giant crown that Super Saiyan Free Vegeta has. Oh, this is making me wonder how cool the transformation animations are going to look, because Vegeta has 2 gorgeous Super Saiyan 3 animations in Dragon Ball Daima that they can reference. Obviously, the kid Vegeta 1 and then the adult Vegeta 1, those are amazing ones to reference. And I've already talked about how if they actually add Daima SSJ 4 to the game, they might even reference your character, like, grabbing their top and throwing it off. Obviously, if you're a female character, you have, like, the black, like, tube top thing underneath. But, like, it's just insane to think that they might actually reference your character ripping their clothes to go Super Saiyan 4, which would be funny because you're going to de-transform and the clothes will just show back up on your body. Unless if they commit to the attention to detail and you just go permanently shirtless if you de-transform after, which would be nuts, but I don't think they'll do that. It might be a bit too complex. They might break the game in some way. It might have weird interactions with certain other things. It'll probably be really glitchy to keep the shirts off permanently after that, so I wouldn't blame them if they don't do that. And then obviously Super Saiyan Blue and Super Saiyan God have their own unique transformations to reference with their animations. Ultra Instinct has like quite a bit actually, because Goku goes into that form quite a lot. They could choose to reference the Ultra Instinct Sign one where he stands up from the explosion, or they could reference the Ultra Instinct Sign against Kefla where he kind of dodges into the awakening state, or they could reference the one against Jiren obviously, where he, you know, dodges into the awakening state and slides past the enemy and hits them with a bunch of barrages, then he turns around, just like the one that Xenoverse 2 has, you know. There's so many different ways to reference UI, it's actually crazy, and the same obviously applies to Beast. Beast has the one showcase it has in the movie, so if they obviously, again, reference that, they'll just do the same way they did it in Xenoverse 2, which no one would complain of because it's still pretty cool. Man, I can't wait to see more about Awoken skills, because this doesn't just like end with like Saiyans obviously, this would extend all the way to the other races. I really do hope that Freezers don't have the Resurrection F transformation anymore. I do hope they have the Tournament of Power one, where it's like a big, grandiose like animation. I've talked about this before when it comes to how transformation animations in Xenoverse 3 should work, based on them referencing the newest material. Again, if Super Saiyan 1's transformation is referencing the DBS Broly movie with the green hair, then yeah, it's safe to say that they're only going for the newest renditions of these transformations. Speaking of newest rendition, I really hope Dragon Ball Daima stuff is actually in the game at launch, because I would love to have the Daima versions of these unique attacks. Stuff like the Daima Super Kamehameha, where like you fire it at the enemy, then you charge towards them with an elbow strike at the end. That would make a god to your ultimate attack. And also, I'm still mad that Sparking Zero didn't do that, because I would have, oh my, look, Sparking Zero didn't do that, and I'm still mad to this day. We need a Kamehameha in one of these Xenoverse games, where you fire a Kamehameha at someone, then you charge them down with a melee attack afterwards. Just like how Dragon Ball FighterZ gave Super Saiyan Blue Goku that one super cool ultimate attack, where he goes Kaioken, kicks you away, Kamehamehas you, then he flies through the Kamehameha and blows you up. I think that's so metal, but we've never had one of those in a Xenoverse game. Obviously, Xenoverse 3, again, is adapting the most recent renditions of all of these moves and the coolest versions of all these moves. Even references Dragon Ball FighterZ Wolfang Fist with the Brett gameplay. I haven't mentioned that yet because I thought everyone else knew it, but no, I spoke to some of my friends and they didn't know that. Either way, I think that's a pretty solid place to end it. Super Saiyan 3, I just can't get enough of this. Obviously, the transformation is very cool. I do think in the trailers, though, they're probably going to want to put more emphasis on something new like Super Saiyan 4. Obviously, it'd be really nice to get the lore-accurate version of the Super Saiyan 3 transformation, because for those of you guys who actually know Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, every Super Saiyan animation is the same. Your character looks like they're kind of constipated and then do like a regular power-up for all like original Super Saiyan forms. Only for like Super Saiyan God and Blue and all the other newer forms did we start to get unique animations for that. So it'll actually be nice to see. They might not even show Super Saiyan 4 in any of the newer trailers coming up. Maybe like next year before the game comes out, like just before the game comes out in the launch trailer, they might show Super Saiyan 4. But for now, I think they know that they can keep people happy by just showing like higher quality versions of stuff we've already seen and played in Xenoverse 2. That's going to probably settle people down for a bit, and then they'll go, okay, now that, you know, everyone's settled down, it's time to start showing them like actually super insane new stuff. Just my fury, though. Just my fury. My game fury. But yeah, no, I think that's a great place to end it. Again, I do hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you enjoyed it, did y'all hear that? Some dude in a race car just went by like 100 billion miles per hour. Alright, but that's a great place to end it. I do love you all. I hope you all enjoyed. And I will see you fellas all next time. Don't forget to leave a like on the video, subscribe as it greatly supports the channel. And leave a comment down below as to what you'd like to see next, fellas. Again, I do love you all. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time. Take care and peace. Bye-bye.